Hey yo guys, what's up? This is KLA Cloud the Wanderer. And yeah, man, I wanted to go back and talk about this interview that Oliver George Page did with this bodybuilder, um Tina Tina Titan. Yeah, and it was certain things she talked about. It always caught my interest. And I did a review on this before a couple of times, but for some reason, it just was calling me, tempting me to want to do it again for some reason. But yeah, I'm gonna play it, and yeah, you're gonna hear my thoughts on it.
And don't worry, I don't send D pics. Not that type of guy. Thank you for
Thank you,
saying
Chad.
that. And also says, "Good night, guys." Appreciate that, Chad. Shout out to you. Appreciate for coming on here. And also, we got his from man John Doe. He says, "From the ER to the bodybuilding stage within 10 days. That's incredible story. Tina, you are
Oh,
legit bodybuilding badass. You got a new fan in me. Keep up the good work, good hard work. And that's what as we
thank you,
smoke,
John Doe.
as we smoke, we said hard work. When you ladies rock hard, we're rock hard. So that's that's the thing.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts, facts, facts.
because that's what we talked about earlier. That this is the thing about women in the bodybuilding world. You are often a little bit more sexualized than outside of the mainstream because the fact is,
Mhm.
it's something that's not typically as most people think of feminine. Most people like I said, I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. Our women a little bit more rounded, a little more shapely. We have a little thing, women. I mean, I got to see women in the bodybuilding world. A couple ladies who I've become friends with. She lives in Florida. Amanda Schnooks. We're really good friends. We've been friends on social media. I did an interview with Amanda. A lady by the name Mary Ann Wachowski. She reached out to me. She thought I was going to do my regular Muscle Talk Mondays, but now I told her that we'll do it next week. And we guys who follow you ladies, and we admire you. We do, like I said, we have the weird guys out there who can't be
Mhm.
seen. The guys who get excited when you gaze on stage. And you realize something. When you ladies on stage, you're dehydrated, you're tired, you're hungry.
We're not the nicest. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you for saying that.
I know you did New York. A lady who become friend with Andrea Sauer. She did that show too. Shout out to Andrea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's been on here a couple of times. Good lady. Her birthday was just this past weekend. I shout out to her. And
Nice.
there's a lot to this sport that people need to understand. And I think it's just that you gotta respect your commitment and passion for it.
Well, I think also in this day and age of social media, women also shine their bodies a lot. And I can't just blame the men aspect of it because women are at fault too because they want to sell their bodies. Now, that's totally up to them. I'm not judging them. That's just not something I do. If you look at my social media page, you're not going to see any of that. Did I take photo shoots? Yeah. But I think that the most of the comments that I can be respectful just because of how I portray myself and how I do engage with the public. I know that not every woman's going to get that, and that's totally fine. But I also shut it down, and I honestly can say, majority of the fans. One of the people who they use that word schmo in the business. That's considered a schmo. He's one of my close friends, and we just went to the Olympia together. Like we hang out. He's never like been inappropriate with me. So I see where the bad connotation can come for.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. That always struck with me with the close friend. You know, she got a friend that's a schmo, and I'm not trying to get at her. But it's so interesting. It just caught even George saying, many times me and him we get into arguments about them being your friend, and but you desiring them. That was the thing. And with her, she has this friend, that likes schmoes, you know, that I mean that he's a schmo and he happens to like female body. How do you know that he doesn't like you? He just talk to you. That was my thing, on it. And and it always was always in the back of my head to just like think about that. So, I don't know. I just don't got nothing else to do, but I just wanted to go back and just play this again, and for some reason, but that always caught my attention when she says it, and it's not my business. I mean, if they friends, they're friends. It's not, no, it's nothing to get at her or anything, criticize her, anything like that. But is he really your friend? That's the thing, you know. And I'm gonna play some more.
Forth. But listen, no matter what class you're in, from bikini to women's bodybuilding, we are literally in next to no clothing stage in a beauty pageant. Of course, it's going to draw some eyes. It's going to draw some sexualizations, but we are literally those tanned, oiled up, flexing.
Just as she explaining it, how can it be possible we can be friends? Am I lusting over you? You on stage and you oiled up and you flexing and stuff, and my urges is kicking in. Like, I don't think it's genuine, in my opinion. That's just me. I'm just keeping it real, you know. George be like all crazy about Andrea Shaw. Imagine if Andrea Shaw decides tells him to, hey, let's be friends. Would he want to be friends?
To that. So we are going to get it. It's just how you handle it at the end of the day.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a lot to it. Like, ladies you work because the expedition. I know a while back when I was doing an interview with a lady we talked about her, Daphne, she told me that, she was doing, I think she was getting ready to do a show that year when she was going to exercise with you. I found this picture and this is like, yeah.
Those are some good
Look at George's mouth. Look at how the way George sound. Yeah, he's a real riot, George. You're a real riot if you listening to this, man. You're a real riot.
memories right there.
I mean, Daphne, both of y'all beautiful ladies. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all just sexy. I would say that. I'm a man.
I will take that compliment. That is
Yeah.
totally fine. I will take that compliment. Funny because George, I literally just stopped talking. I'm on a dating app and he stopped talking to me because we FaceTime and he saw my arms and he's like, your arms are too big for me. I can't handle that.
What?
I mean, yo, every guy is not gonna dig you like that. I'm sorry. You're a very attractive woman, but every guy is not gonna. They really not really into women have bigger arms than they do. That's just how it is. You can call it insecure all you want, but that's just. I mean, that's the. I'm being real. I had a friend that he said that women with muscles look disgusting. So I mean, to each his own. I mean, there's guys that's gonna be all on your DMs and liking your pictures that you have. I mean, if so what if that dude don't like you? You know, that's him. Just like you got your preference. So I mean, she makes some good points about
Women being accountable just as men should be accountable in sexualization. Yeah, man. So, yeah, that was a good point that she made.
What?
What'd you say, Willie?
I'd be happy if I could get a woman. See, I live in a very small town.
you don't.
I know you're not gonna listen to me, man, but you gotta stop telling, especially women, that you don't have a woman. Like, come on, man.
Lady, half the people in town, I don't have two choices. Even if I go I live like 2 miles from South Carolina. Even
You don't have to tell her all that. You don't have to tell her all that, man.
when I go to the next town over, I have people that might be related to that town. I remember, this is a true story. I was at a club with my homeboy. I was talking to this girl, and we were talking, chatting, just say, hey, how you doing? So, and I said my name. Said, oh, your name sounds familiar. I said, oh yeah, my granddaddy. Who's your granddaddy? Oh yeah. Oh, that was my great uncle.
No way.
My great uncle Hardy. He had 20 head of kids.
Yeah, you might as well just do like a dating app. I know he don't want to do that, but like, bro, like she don't. she probably she trying to make her laugh or something like that, but it's man, I don't know. It's to each his own, man. To each his own. I'm not trying to get at you, George. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, he had three,
20?
three wives, two girlfriends.
That man
Three
was
girlfriends. I can't remember.
busy.
Yeah. Wait. I know people who were married for a long time had 10, 15 kids. That's from farming. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, guys gotta understand, you're a woman. You're a beautiful woman. And you need to recognize, don't.
And again, when you say a beautiful woman, so you want her to be your friend? That's what that was my whole point. I'm not gonna pretend, that she's my friend. I mean, I think it's dishonest, man. Shoot your shot. You don't want to shoot. She's not interested. That's it. You know, I I don't know what else to say about this, man. But it just, for me, going back to just think about this, it's something else.
Look at the aspects of your muscle in your body. Look at the aspects of you as a woman.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of ladies like you who I know who have interviews who are married, who have kids, who found love. It takes time. You have to, also as a man, you need to be comfortable with yourself. You got to be comfortable as you as a person.
Everybody got their preference. If he doesn't have to like her. There's other dudes that's gonna go out with her. I mean, it, she just ain't. I mean, every guy is not gonna fall for you. That's it. You know, just leave it at that.
You got my man here, Warrior 2000 says, "Hey Tina."
Hi,
And
Warrior.
Little Titan.
Yeah, I love it.
And also he says, are you planning to compete in an upcoming?
Well, I think that's about it. I just wanted to talk about that for some reason. That always stuck with me. You know, yeah. So
We're not married. We're not engaged. We're not even dating, and we never will be. But I thought you'd like. What I like is for you to leave me alone. Laura, I know I'm not worthy of you, but I just can't help loving you. It's like wanting to touch a star. You know you'll never reach it, but you've just gotta keep trying.
Yeah, so I was putting this clip there of Family Matters, how Steve Urkel used to chase after Laura. And I don't know, it kind of reminds me of FBB fans, aka schmoes, like in female bodybuilders. They want something that a lot of them they can't have. Eventually Steve Urkel did get Laura.
bring this up again for some reason. That always stuck to me, and it's not to get at her or criticize George so much, but it's just the topic. It just kind of it interests me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't. It's an interesting topic. Yeah, I'm attracted to female bodybuilders. I'm not gonna like pretend to be their friend, and I mean, I respect them, and respect what they do. I could be friendly with them. You know, and she made some good points too. When they're competing and stuff like that, they're not the friendliest and all that stuff. And so I mean, I hope she finds somebody that she likes. That appreciates her. That's all I can say. With that, I'm out.